Hello and welcome back to the Shmuseum. Now today we need to fix something with the Aston Martin DBS. I will explain all in a moment. A few things to show you as usual. Some parcels have arrived, lots of things to run through, but basically I bought the DBS, as you know, as a used car. It's done 28,500 miles, something like that, so it's far from being brand new and perfect. Now, at some point in its life, it's had a few bits of refreshing. Obviously, McGurk, where we bought it, had done all of the things that you would need for the car to be fully running mechanically, to be in pretty good shape, it has to be said. But as a car that I intend to keep in the collection with some of the other cars for the fairly long term, it's been one of my favorite cars forever. It's so iconic, and I feel that probably value-wise, it should go up because at the moment, well, one of these is less than the M3, which is bizarre if you ask me. Anyway, as part of that, it means I want to go to Topaz to give it paint protection film, to keep this lovely midnight blue looking fantastic. But before we do that, you will notice at the front here, we recently shuffled the number plate, and in fact I actually took off the plinth. The problem with this is that the bumper underneath has quite a few different screw holes, which mean that you can't stick that flat at all because it's basically warped a little bit. So we want to get that sorted, but we also want to effectively give the front a touch up of paint. So a respray of the front end. There are a few bits with some really bad chips. I'm not quite sure how much of this you can see, but here, for example, and just loads scattered around. And the best way, obviously, to do this, the best process is to paint it, let it cure, and then do PPF, because if you do PPF over the top of chips, they're going to stay there. There's nothing you can do about it. So we're basically today going to be driving that over to Godleman's, who've done quite a few bits of work for us now, the Clio, MOTs, and some other things, and get the work done there. Of course, consider taking it up to Chartwell, but it's a long way away. It's a job just to do around the front, and Godleman's have looked after us very well. So the plan is to take that over today to get a bit of that process started, to obviously then have this factory fresh, ready to stick the plate on properly after it's got PPF Topaz. Now in the meantime, let's swing over the other side, because last update we had a few things going on. We were measuring out the areas for the ground floor parts of the mezzanine, but we've also, as I said, grown my collection of stuff. The collection of stuff seems to endlessly grow. It's a bit of fun, and in particular, today we're talking a bit more Lego. Latest round of Lego, we've got the Vespa. I actually want to put that in the cabinet. It's actually the first non-car Lego that I think I have in the entire display of Lego. The only problem with all of this is that even having bought these IKEA cabinets, oh yeah, that one's a pull back and it slides forwards not that long ago, is that I'm quickly running out of space. These are the same colour, that's kind of fun. Now, I'll put them in there for now. Oh, excuse me. Just get all of these on display a little bit. They also make this mini Lego. Lego's for everyone, right? You can never be too old to play around with Lego and have it on display in a cabinet. So more of that. Also, I would like to give a massive thanks to Rain in Australia, who has kindly sent me all of these, a collaboration that Shell and Ferrari had. Back in 2012, they made these with V-Power, the whole set of them, which is super epic. And then also a part set of a collaboration they did, I think, in 2014, 2015 as well. I love this kind of stuff. Obviously, there are a lot of Lego cars from the past that I don't have here, and there's a lot that needs to be built. And there's not a lot of space. That's the problem we need to work out. Anyway, DBS over to Godleman's. One thing you might be wondering, and I know the guys have touched on this a little bit, but with the cars parked on the Benpack Auto Stackers, obviously this gives us the ability to have massively more cars in here in a very cool way. The fact that those cars up top are just hanging there, floating on that upper deck, I think looks really cool. But the other thing that I hadn't expected is actually how easy it is to take the cars off and on. Now, obviously the first time is super, super cautious, but with a car like the DBS, these are the extra wide version, the A6W, and we've got plenty of space. There's no risk of the wheels, and you can kind of tell when the car's touching down onto the concrete and start the turn, and it just works super nicely. And at the back, the rear wheels sit straight into those trays. And I had thought it was going to be something that would always need to be done with at least 2 people, but you can do it on your own, totally fine. Anyway, we've unplugged the CTEC smart charger. Let me get this started, which will mean obviously lovely V12 noises, and then I'll demonstrate exactly that as we pull it down in a moment. So let's start it up. about following the DBS? As we're going to get an acceleration? No, maybe not. I was going to say, it's the number plate discussion.
It actually looks okay.
It does look okay with the rectangular one. There's that whole back and forth about whether it should be rectangular. Yes, there we go. That sounded nice. Rectangular, or whether it should be that shaped plate. But hey, the DBS looks pretty cool on the road. I've only seen it being driven by others, I think once or twice. And just in the dark blue is so nice.
It's really subtle, but smart.
It does actually, in today's very overcast and gloomy weather, look a little bit almost like it's black. Yep, tunnel. Go, Tom.
That sounds good.
Nah, V12 for the win. Although you were just saying, it'd be quite interesting. These two cars are actually, performance-wise, this is 400 horsepower, I want to say?
400, 500 Newton meters of torque, and that is, you said
510 horsepower, but significantly heavier, because V12.
Slower gearbox, probably puts the power down in a very different way.
Yeah.
It's really interesting.
Well, this is obviously Quattro, that's rear-wheel drive.
Yeah.
Old tech.
DSG, which is obviously a very quick shift, so.
Yeah. Oh, bump. No, the DBS is a lovely car to cruise around in. Tom is probably having a good time in there now. I don't really know why I've let him drive the DBS.
Because he was insistent, he said, I want to drive the DBS, and it was like,
I'm just gonna let him. Okay, done. Have fun, off you go.
Yeah, enjoy the cruise.
We are arriving here at Godleman's. Oh, Aventador Roadster.
And them too.
Very nice. Very, very nice. So, let's go in, say hello, and go set the plan and what we're going to be doing. I've just taken off the front plate, which is held on with sticky tape at the moment, but I can show you now a little bit more what I was saying earlier. The drill holes for the plinth basically create this hyper-warped front edge.
Yeah, you can see it there.
Now on the Astons, this is where you have your towing eye hook behind your plate. So if you want to drive on track, you actually have to take off the plate in any case to be able to do that. But what we'll try and do is get these smoothened out so that we can just mount this straight on and not have that issue. Actually, if you look from right above, you can see quite how much the bumper itself is actually warped by having those drilled back at the time. Yeah, it'll be a nicer result at the end. And obviously, this will all be cleaned up and tidy and perfect as a result. So we'll get this done, and then afterwards, we'll probably need to transport it to Topaz, I guess.
Yeah.
We'll have to call Mr. Turbo into action.
We will, because we're not driving it after it's had a fresh spray.
Paint, you don't want to drive out on the roads, especially not if you have grim weather and yeah. Anyway,
a bit like this.
Let's leave this for the moment. Right, we're heading off for now then, back on the road. Weather hasn't improved. How's the back of the RS3, Tom?
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
This is unusual. Normally I'm the one who's shoved in the back.
That's funny. This is Zach's garage calling me.
Mr. Zach's garage.
Shall we answer?
We shall answer.
Zach, we're filming. How are you?
I'm good. How are you filming?
You're on camera.
Oh God. Oh jeez. Well, I'm not official camera, so that's okay.
Oh well.
I feel like we should cut this clip so we can chat to you.
We'll cut the clip.
Don't worry.
We're back.
We are.
There's a football in the middle of the room.
Shmuseum things. It's how it rolls.
There are also not very many cars here now.
No, it's empty.
We're down to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Goodness, like we're 8 cars down. Thanks, Tom.
Wasn't me.
He's trying to be sneaky.
Where's the sense? What are we doing now? What are we doing? Where are we going? Well, I think what we're now doing is we should probably get some lunch. Then, I think we've got a Formula 1 wheel which needs a tyre, which we should probably try and resolve.
Plan?
No. Where did we get him?
Next plan for the day. At the moment, this is sitting on our axle stands.
I've done a good job with that.
You have done a good job
And
with
that's
that.
just there for backup.
Which means we're going to take these over to TDF to go and get the tyre mounted back onto the wheel so that we can actually move the F1 car.
Yeah, because right now it's pretty much stuck here.
And we're going to eventually obviously make all the wheels this lovely gloss black how they used to be. But it's a little bit complicated because of being such a small size wheel and such a gigantic tyre. It's not necessarily the normal process, but obviously TDF know everything about this kind of stuff. Hence, let's put these in the RS3 Brad needs to head off.
Yep, I've got a dentist appointment, so I've got to go and disappear for a bit, but I will hopefully catch up with you later on when this is ready to go back on the car.
And we can slide it around again. Plus, I've actually got some other errands to do in connection with the export of the SF90, so that I can then travel on very, 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 very soon to go and pick it up. For now, let's get these in the car. Tom and I will take the RS3 and just go to TDF. Perfect. Couldn't fit even better, to be honest.
That's a good fit.
Do not run, but do take in the boot.
Yes, that has wedged that quite nicely, so that shouldn't move.
Right, let's go. We're not too far from where we're going, but we are at the next exit.
No comment.
No comment. It's not far from here though, 20-something minutes or so until we get to TDF.
Yeah, so I may have took the wrong exit on the roundabout and rejoined the M1, which...
You're enjoying the RS3 so much.
I just wanted to spend more time in it, yeah. I was like, well, no, I'm not coming off here, we're going to keep going.
But
so.
Talking of driving and having the tyre pressures up right now, one thing that was really interesting at that last stop was one of the tyres for some reason was a little bit higher than the others.
Yes.
And it was amazing how much you were saying you could notice that.
Yeah, it was massively...
It was only 0.2 bar, 3 PSI more, but it was a significant difference in terms of the car like just pulling to the left because the front right was overinflated.
Yeah, I think it probably would have changed lanes by itself if I'd have allowed it to.
Which is quite interesting that it's that significant. Hey look, Audi RS gang. Behind us as well, but yeah.
Yes, so yeah, definitely shows the significance of having your tyre pressure set correctly. And also that's really funny for me because last time we came to TDF, we came in an RS5. And then we're in the RS3, so it's quite funny to have one following us.
Yes. Anyways, not far, country lanes. We'll be at TDF. We're arriving then at Bedford Autodrome. Ah yes, it's the home of Palmer Sport. I don't know if I've ever been to Bedford Autodrome until now.
Okay,
I mean,
you have now?
I will have done, yeah, in a second. Logically, I should have done because there's so much automotive stuff here, including TDF.
I'm sure you have. Probably just
Maybe
don't
at some
remember.
point, sometime, but not recently.
Well, we are here now, and soon we get to see lots of naked F1 cars and all the stuff you don't normally see because people are hiding it.
Woo! We've just arrived here at TDF, where of course you've been here before, Tom.
I have, yes.
And at the moment they're off just fitting the wheel at the other spot, and I'm kind of at the moment like a kid in
You're like we
Disneyland.
were. You just have no idea what to say.
Like just looking around the FW20 over there with the Judd V10. Obviously we've got the Button car just here, and I mean these guys obviously do the TDF1, do the restorations, the heritage cars. And some of this stuff is just like dreamland. It's what we grew up with. It's what we grew up watching.
Yeah, that's why. I mean, the Button car is very special for me. I mean, again, well, at least I started watching sort of late '90s, but that was when I was really into it
and aware of everything.
Yeah,
It's 2004, and it's just, you know, while our car is a show car, it can't be a running car. But it's certainly like
you start getting ideas being here, don't you?
Of like, what if we kind of sold something and went and bought one of these? And
Well, as we said, TDF make Formula One open to the regular consumer, and well, you'd need to sell a car or two, but it could be done.
It's kind of a one day that would be so epic because the 90s or early 2000s F1s were childhood, were growing up. They're so different. Obviously, the modern cars are technologically way more advanced, hybrid powertrains, and even the aero side of it. But the older cars always look so nice, and it's such a cool place to be and to have a look around. I mean, even just here, looking at some of the carbon floors of different cars as well, and taking all of the details and everything about them.
And we actually just picked one of those up,
Yeah,
and it's shocking how light an entire floor is.
You know that they're not going to weigh very much because carbon fiber, but then you try and pick one up and you're like, oh, that's it. For this thing that's about 4 meters long, or however long it is, 3.5 meters.
It's considerably taller than you, is all I can say.
The engineering, I mean, Formula One has always been the pinnacle of automotive, of motorsport, right? And cars with history that, you know, that raced pretty much the entire season of 2004 there with period Honda engine, and just being able to see it and look at it. It's a special place. It's really cool to come and visit.
Anyway, I think we should probably go and see how our wheel and tyre combo is getting on, and I think we've got another errand to run, so we should probably get back on the road
We
soon.
do. Time is tight. I'm just going to oogle for another couple of seconds and then we'll move on.
Okay, I'll leave you to that.
We've just picked this up then, remounted, tyre back on the wheel, looking very good. Obviously, we've still got a bit more to do to finish it off.
But
it was.
We are much nearer there.
Yes, certainly better than the slightly sketchy silver paint they had on before.
Yes.
And still amazing, to be honest, how light this is relatively for, you know, it's a pretty massive thing. I don't know how wide those tyres actually are.
It's just like the weight of one of the GTR tyres, if we're being honest.
Just a normal tyre.
Right, now, I should be able to pop this on the key. There we go.
And just squeeze that back in there. Carefully does it. We don't want to damage the nice paint that we have on there.
No, the guys have been nice and careful getting that tyre on as not to catch any of that new finish.
But yeah, perfect. Ready to get it back home. We can put it on the car and we'll finally be able to move it around the garage again.
Yes.
But a stop or two along the way.
Yep. Let's go in the car.
Fast forward a little bit. We've been in the car for a while already. Tom, thankfully, is still driving.
Still on chauffeur duties.
Thank you very much. But we had to pick something up. Now, the UK obviously left the European Union a while back, which means that if you send a car by transporter, the paperwork side of it is now a little bit complicated, to say the least, because customs union and all of that stuff, which means there's a certain Shmuseum on its way to Italy for a couple of days' time to collect, and that means I needed to send this, the paperwork, the UK registration certificate for SH20 MEE, which is of course the SF90 Stradale, and we need to go and drop that off with the transporters so that it can be taken, so that the car can get there, so that I can travel out there, and so that when I bring it back to the UK I don't get a customs bill on arrival, as I've spoken a little bit about. But this does mean I've got the registration certificate here for an SF90. So the most powerful car I own as of right now is a 1000 horsepower Ferrari, which is really quite exciting. So we need to go and drop this off with the transport guys, and then the logistics are going to get even more complicated, and actually before then I need to go and take a copy of it, so we need to stop to do that. Yes, it's a day of many, many, many errands, to say the least, but it will work out. We'll get everything done, and it's quite exciting to actually have this, to know that that's happening and only a few days away.
So we are now out on the road running our next errand, and if you look here, you will see a Shmuseum 150 in the AMG GTR Roadster. We've now swapped into different cars. Hello. We're just telling them why you're now in that.
Makes sense.
Yes. So.
Bit of a cruise.
Yeah. So.
Bye.
So we've got both of these out together. As Tim said, as we was leaving TDF, there's a few errands to run. Obviously the first was going to collect the SF90 V5 so he can get that one transported. And now we are on the way to the next errand, which is actually in the same sort of area. But he's jumped in that because I think...
Oh, the roof's coming down. Oh, and I'm back.
Of course it is.
There,
Yeah, oh yeah, sorry, Brad's back.
That's why the camera's being held, because unfortunately Tom couldn't
Did
do
we
this.
say where you were?
Yeah, we said I went to the dentist. I'm
Yes,
back,
there you
I'm
go.
alive.
So you're back, you're alive, you're all fixed, you've had your health check, and that's all good.
I'm quite jealous. Can I get out and swap?
No, you're staying in here.
Do you know what we can do?
We can open the sunroof.
Your favourite thing.
Yeah, we can open the table. Lovely 911, just in traffic.
Oh,
there.
that was nice. And a 8, it's not an M8, but it's an 8 Series.
Yeah, the 840D convertible cabriolet.
Oh, there's the 911. We can film that. That is lovely. Right,
Anyway, without more waffling, we're on the way to our next stop. So me and Brad are in the RS3, Tim's in the GTR Roadster. We're sat in traffic, not going hugely fast, but we are making progress, so we will see you in a moment. Hello, you join us at Topaz Detailing.
that was a nice intro.
It was, wasn't it? Well, it's not an
almost-
intro, it's just a...
Intro to Topaz.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm saying hello, I've already said hello to you guys. Anyway, we're here with the Aston Martin GT8, which we said was being dropped off for some freshen up, shall we say. And we figured we'd show you exactly what it is that we're having done. So if you have a look just here on the wing, you can see that a stone has obviously caught that, and the PPF has done exactly its job. There's now a mark in that, but it's a mark in the PPF rather than in the paint. So again, the guys will just peel that off, put a new piece on, job done, and the car still looks perfect underneath. And the other one is just down here on the carbon here, which again is the exact same procedure. That itself is just one piece, it's not the whole bumper or anything. So that will come off and get replaced. And again, this shows the beauty of the Topaz PPF, because, well, if that wasn't there, that would now be a very expensive bit of carbon to replace.
That would be a horrible bill to receive to replace that.
And, well, whilst we're here, I don't know if you guys have noticed what's over my shoulder.
Another GT8.
Next to the GT8, We have a GT12,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen.
That is cool. So the V12, essentially of this.
Yes, I mean there are obviously a number of differences, the first of which being the 6-litre V12. The second, you've got the full splitter going all the way around.
There's a different shape as well, that sort of bit curves down on the front, whereas this just comes straight across.
Grille is significantly different.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully the guys can still hear me from here because we have...
Hopefully.
I've left my mic in the car, so I apologise if the audio is terrible for this. Obviously you've got the huge vented carbon bonnet section as well.
That's so cool.
And then I think one angle, Brad, if you come this way, if we come down here and then just 180, look at the difference in the front wings, which is just a really cool view as well with that slit there in the wing, and it just appears so much wider, whereas obviously on the GT8 you've got the little cut out there for stones to flick down the side, which is...
So cool.
Yes. So I guess we should probably go and find where Tim has gone and then head back towards the barn, although I think we're going to be going without him. I think it's going to be just me and you, Brad.
Probably, but that's fine.
Yeah, Tim has actually got a meeting just down the road that he's had to go and attend, so I think we'll go and join him, have a quick catch up with him, head back to the barn and see what's left to do.
I've got an F1 wheel to see, so we'll get that out of the car.
Yes, Brad, yes, actually in the boot
Yeah.
of the RS3.
I've told myself I'm not going to look at it yet, we're going to wait till we're back at the barn and look at it properly.
Okay.
Right, we are back at the barn. Okay, so the Audi does do some pops and bangs, but it's now parked up next to the M3.
Just thought I'd give you some noise.
Yeah, thanks. Parked up in the daily spaces.
That's right, I've had my mic on as well, so they probably heard me pushing buttons and stuff as I was parking up.
Yeah.
But anyway, I don't know what you've said, sorry, I don't know where we are.
I said we're back, these two are in the daily spaces, and I haven't said that, well, we said earlier, we have an F1 wheel that's now...
We do, and you still haven't seen it.
Well, exactly, so I need to see how this has turned out.
This is, in fact, hang on, I'm going to do it off the key. Well, actually, you can't see anything.
I can't see it.
Okay, right.
I'll turn around.
You look away.
We're going to look at the Ford GT. Why are we not focusing today? Hello, focus. Can I turn around?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
How much cooler does it look with a tyre on?
I guess.
We're going to need to jack this up.
Yeah, it's not quite Formula One pit stop style.
I have a question.
Go on.
Why is our floor line marking tape around the handle of the jack?
I don't actually know. I think I dropped it on there the other day when I put the axle stand on it. It's just, there we go, all the way
That
up.
doesn't go there. Let me put this away.
Right, axle stand can come out the way. And then was it the spacer on
The
first?
spacer was on here first because it's not entirely, again, being a bit of a mismatch. I think this isn't necessarily the right wheel
There we go.
for the car, but it fits.
Right, you pop that on nice
that
and
way.
carefully.
Ooh, this is pressure now.
Pit stop.
No, definitely not.
Again, it's also not the world's slowest pit stop because we know that Valtteri Bottas, he beat us to that, unfortunately.
Yes.
Well, not unfortunately, unfortunate for him. But
So we get that, make sure that's not going to cross thread. I mean, it's only going hand tight for now anyways. Obviously, we don't have a Formula One style. Can we call it an Ooga Dooga? We don't have a Formula One style
Ooga Dooga.
Yes. Let's lower the jack. Again, a much more gentle drop than it would be in the pit lane.
yeah, right. It's back on the ground.
I guess what I need to do is find an appropriate place to push from, and we can finally roll it around again.
Perfect.
Not that we have any need to currently roll it around. Hold that thought, we'll be back in a moment. We just thought we'd show you the lengths we've gone to here.
I've got the nose cone.
Yes, so basically, as it's going up, obviously, the car has to go up at a bit of an angle to get on the lifts, which for, regular cars, even really low ones, is no problem. However,
The Formula One car is like extremely low.
yes, so this was about to start scraping on the edge. And again, not that it really matters, because it's far from perfect and we need to tidy it up. But there's no point risking more damage than we need to, right? So, we now have the front nose cone off. The only potential problem we're going to have is the floor. However, worst case scenario, I'll lift that one and it will work. Also, I'm wondering, yeah, it should be fine lengthwise, I hope. We now have Brad around the back of the F1 car. What are you up to?
We are being safe. Obviously, this has no gears, so we can't leave it in gear. It has no handbrake, so we can't put a handbrake on. So just to make sure, we've popped this round. It's gone through 2 holes either side of the ramp, and then it just connects together here, and that is not coming off at all. So
Okay.
just as a bit of
As a precaution,
extra safety.
isn't going to move anywhere.
Right, I think
I think that means
you want to go stand over there.
we can now put the lift up.
Ready?
Let's go. This is so surreal.
This is crazy.
Ultimate two-car combo, right? F1 car and Clio.
I think we're going all the way up to 4.
I think we'll be safe.
Right, almost there. And onto the locks, key off, emergency stop on.
I mean, it's actually ridiculous how little of the car you can now see.
Oh wow, you can barely tell that. Tom has resulted to football. Nice shot. I've now resulted, no. We need to look at.
I'm coming to join you.
Yeah, come and join me. This is a ridiculous sight. I'm currently looking at, oh, that's now on the floor, sorry Tom. I'm looking at a C63 Black Series next to a Renault Clio 1.2.
Which is quite crazy in itself that those two are sitting next to each other.
Yeah, sitting next to a former Formula One car.
Here is our 1997 Williams FW19 sat on a Ben Pack auto stacker.
I don't really know what to do. We maybe should have put it on this first one, but I feel like it's a bit better. It's kind of out of the way. And
It's just so cool. I think arguably it's better here because otherwise what you'd have is you'd see the full car, but it's just sneaking out. It's just poking out like, hi, I'm here.
But this is so cool seeing this here on lift. It just doesn't make any sense that we've done it, but why not? And obviously, if you come around the side, we now have, oh yeah, we need to show this properly on the car. We have our gloss black wheel.
Yeah.
It's kind of in the shadows.
We've just been too excited by all of this.
Gloss black wheel on the side of our Formula One car, which just looks so good.
Anything to do with an F1 car is just, it's just cool, right?
Right. Nose cone off.
Yep, nose cone off. We'll get the car back off because then
And
it
then
won't
it can
scrape.
go back over there and be parked up.
Yes, you untie it, I'll do that, and we'll get it off, and we'll see you guys in a second. There we go. Nose cone is back on, and that is now sat in its usual spot. So I think we'll leave that there for now, and we'll leave that ready for when, I guess, when Tim brings the Roadster back. But you have our parcel.
Yeah, which we've just opened.
Well, you have, clearly.
Well, I was a bit impatient.
Right.
It said your name, Tim's name, and my name on it, and I thought, do you know what? On behalf of all three of us, I'm going to figure out what's inside here.
Well, do you want to tell me? Is it something these... Hang on, let me... You have a look at an F1 car. Oh, that's quite funny.
It's quite cool.
That confirms that is from Chiro.
It is from Chiro.
Oh my God, do you know how handy that is, given what you've just done? Guys, we have a foam football being delivered to us.
Chiro, thank you. I'm going to open it. I'm going to take...
Brilliant. Especially given that you have just... Well,
Yeah.
the other one, hang on, I think if we go right in, there you are, behind the C63 wheel, up on the lift there. Chiro has saved the day.
Chiro, thank you. This is a...
I guess this is a throwback to when we were all in here playing football when they came to visit.
It is, and I assume Chiro doesn't want us to get any work done because he even said, oh, you must get nothing done with all these footballs. And I thought we were going to start getting rid of them, but...
As it turns out, no.
It's quite a good football, this. Thanks, Chiro.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it's very similar to the...
Sorry, Shmez.
Oh my God, that sounds really happy. There you go. That's how you do it. Right. Clearly, I'm better at football than you, so
I'll
you take the
that.
camera.
Yeah, you're
I'll
better,
stick to footballs.
Yep.
But anyway, I think that probably wraps up everything here for today. Obviously, it's been an incredibly busy day. Starting out, heading off to TDF and going and getting that done. No, we did something else first. What did we do?
We took the DBS.
We took the DBS. Yes.
Yeah, DBS went to Godleman's.
DBS went to Godleman's. I drove it. How can I forget? So yeah, the DBS went to Godleman's. Then we were up to TDF to sort out the stuff with the F1.
And I disappeared at that point, and then came back
disappeared.
and met you just in time to go to
Topaz.
And Tim went for his meeting.
Tim went for his meeting regarding the, I guess, export? Not export, but shipping. Regarding the shipping of the SF90. So that's all been done. So it's been an incredibly productive day. And then, obviously, finishing off, getting the F1 car on one of our auto stackers, which was quite funny. And I actually think Tim's going to be quite upset that he wasn't here to see that. But anyway, I think before it does become another very late night at this museum, we should head home. Thank you guys for watching. Until next time.